I recently had a project where we poured an exposed aggregate patio at a house I built. We took the leftover material and we placed them into these forms. The idea was to make exposed aggregate stair treads that was going to match the patio. The outcome was a lot better than I expected. They came out beautifully, but that led me to a problem. How can I replicate these results cheaply and consistently without ordering an expensive concrete truck? In this video, I'm going to share with you my homemade exposed aggregate mix that I came up with to get beautiful results. But wait, there's more. We're also going to test two different finishes. The first finish will be the budget-friendly finish where we use Coca-Cola and muriatic acid. The finish that we're going to compare it to is with the professional grade materials you have to buy at a specialty concrete shop. So let's get going. So a few tools we're going to need. We're going to need a wheelbarrow. We're going to need a shovel. And I see a lot of people mixing concrete with a hoe, but we're just going to leave this for the farmers. We don't need this. Here's a quick gander at the ingredients. We're going to need sand, the decorative stones, and of course, some dry cement. On the screen, I have the ratios of the ingredients that you'll need. Feel free to make as big or small of a batch that you'd like. We're going to mix all the ingredients up dry first. Then we're going to pile up all the ingredients to one side of the wheelbarrow. The other side, we're going to add our water. Then we're going to slowly start integrating the mix into the water. Now, if this seems like I'm oddly scientific about mixing concrete in a wheelbarrow, it's because it is. I used to labor for a mason, and one year, somebody accidentally ran over the cement mixer, so we had to mix everything up by hand. I got really good at it. If you don't like the look of exposed aggregate, but you're still watching, I got good news for you. These limestone treads, they're beautiful, but they're very expensive. You can get a similar look with concrete. I'm going to update my tired garage stairs, and I just happen to like the look of exposed aggregate, so that's why I'm going that route. For the forms, I just built them really quick out of melamine. This is something that is really nice to work with as far as concrete. The smooth surface helps it release from the concrete. I just held it together with some cheap screws, and along the edges I put some caulk, and that just kind of helps you not have sharp edges on the finished product. All right, filling our forms up with concrete. I fill them up halfway full. Then I'm just going to put some light wire mesh in that's going to help hold everything together. And then I'm going to place extra cement on top. An important thing to note when we're doing exposed aggregate, we want to work the concrete as little as possible. So we're going to fill the forms. We're going to screed everything flat. And then we're just going to smooth everything out. Then we're going to try not to touch it. I know that's hard to do, but the more we work the concrete, the more the pebbles are going to work down below the surface. And then finally we're going to tap with a hammer around. That's going to fill any void spaces. And if we use our finger and push, well, we just poured it so everything's really wet. Once it firms up, that's when we start spraying our retarder on it. So we're going to do an experiment. On this side, we're going to just use good old-fashioned Coca-Cola. And then on the other side, for the retarder, we're going to use the expensive stuff. This is the stuff you buy at like the expensive concrete stores. So we'll fix the dog's little boo-boo here. No big deal. Everything's nice and wet. It's still very wet. You can see the water on here. So we'll check back. Okay, it's been about 3 hours and the water's finally evaporated. And when we push, we're getting some resistance. I'll leave a little mark there. So it took forever for the water to bleed off. A little for you, a little for me. So we're just making sure we're getting it saturated. That's pretty good. All right. Oh yeah, you can see that's yellow there, so we know right where we sprayed everything. You can see the yellow dye. So something of note, this is fall in Michigan, and it was cool temperatures during the day and cool at night, and it took a long time for the concrete to set up. This is the first time I've left it overnight, and I'm prying apart the forms, and I'm being careful not to pry off the concrete. I'm just prying on the water. And this is the moment of truth. If you do any kind of concrete work, this is like against everything you know. You're adding water, and then you're just washing away the surface, and I'm always afraid the entire project's just going to wash away into the dirt, but it hasn't happened yet. So I experiment with a soft brush and just kind of see how much things have set up. And then once you kind of get a feel for the concrete, you can use a bit stiffer brush like I'm using here. And I wasn't able to spray that surface deactivator on the face, but I'm able to wash away the face with that little bit stiffer brush. And I think it came out really nice. All right, there you have it. Left side is the Coke side, and the right side is the fancy side. I don't know, I think it came out really nice, each side. Well, so far, I think each side looks identical. So now we're gonna start applying the finish. On one side, with the Coca-Cola side, we're gonna wash that side with muriatic acid. And whenever we wash bricks or concrete, we wanna dampen the surface first. Otherwise, we could burn the surface. So we're gonna add water, then we're gonna add the muriatic acid. Then we're gonna give everything a quick brush. And this is supposed to help kind of darken the concrete and bring out the beauty and the color of the pebbles. And we're doing this cheaply with the acid. After a quick brush, we're just going to rinse everything off really good. We don't want it to sit on there too long. This is the side that we did Coca-Cola with and the muriatic acid. And it is a little bit darker. And this is the side with the expensive stuff. And it's a little bit lighter. So now we're going to seal this side with the Super Diamond Clear. It's just a clear coat that's glossy. And on this side, we're going to try to get the dark look with the expensive sealer. Let's see. So something to note about the Super Diamond Clear, you can buy this in gallon jugs, and this was about $50 at the concrete supply store. And it will ruin any kind of brush you use. So this brush was useless after. The other more expensive sealer that has the brown dye in it, they only sell this in 5-gallon jugs. So this jug cost me a little over $200. So I guess all things being equal, you know, per unit price, the sealer is probably the same price. Really, the savings, if you're going to do exposed aggregate, is in using Coca-Cola as the retarder, because the expensive retarder, a 5-gallon jug of that, was about $200. Okay, so one was made with expensive products and one was made with cheaper products. Yes. Which one's which? What, the one on the left?
Yeah.
And then you think the one on the right's cheaper?
Yeah.
Oh, you're wrong. It's the opposite.
Oh, I like the more expensive one.
Like, you like the one on the right more?
Yeah.
Why?
It's not as dark.
Yeah, it's a little lighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
My lovely wife threw a curveball. She likes a more expensive finish. Here's a look at a walk I did. I thought that came out really nice, and I used Coca-Cola for the surface deactivator and then the brown sealer for the finish. Here's a look at the cost breakdown for the budget finish versus the breakdown for the professional grade finish. And really, again, the savings is in the surface deactivator. For the price of, you know, a couple 2 liters of Coca-Cola, you can save yourself a couple $100. But the professional grade finish does have a lot of different options based on how much aggregate you want to see. Here's a sample at the store. So thanks for watching. If you got any questions, let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.